Hey guys, we are back with some more Salt Lake City Lakers franchise mode, finally. I know, it's been a while. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to get back to the normal schedule, but as of right now, it's just going to be whenever I can record, I'll upload, sort of deal. But I don't have a recording schedule as of right now because I've just been so busy and it's been hectic. Anyway, let's get back into this. Let's refresh ourselves. It's been well over a month since I last recorded this, so I'm going to refresh ourselves on the lines, the situation, everything. So, first line is Nelson, Wright, and Marner. Second line is Mechanics, Waugh, and Burakovsky. Third line is Tyler Rose, our most recent first-round draft pick, 18 years of age. Faxa and Kapanen, and then Naslin, Tierney, and Gunler. On defense, you have Dundas and Fleury, Lambos, and Goddard, and then Montour with Wong. And in goal, you have Shesterkin and Bowman, who has not played a game yet, but that's only because the coach just hasn't played him yet. It's not that auto-rotate goalies are off. They are actually on. It's just coach has been riding Shesterkin for a while. So I believe, as of last checked, our power play, and our penalty kill for that matter, were not great. As we go into team stats here, I believe our power play was around 12%, I want to say. Yeah, 13. Close enough. And yeah, our penalty kill was also pretty terrible, 72.4. So special teams need to be better. But the good thing is we are keeping the puck out of the net. 2.67 goals against per game is the lowest in our division. However, we are also not scoring. 2.44 is the lowest in our division, which in this case is a bad thing. So, I mean, obviously, if we could find a way to score more goals, we should be set. But we're not in the worst position right now. We're outside of a playoff spot, but we're 5-3-1 in the first month. No need to worry about things just yet. We're on a pretty good track as of right now. We just have to hope that some of the teams above us come back down to earth and that we can continue winning for the most part. And since it's been so long that we've had one of these episodes, I'm just going to try to get through as much of this season as possible. So we'll go through a month and then we'll take a look at the team stats just at the end of the month, just to make sure our power play and penalty kill are up to par. But other than that, we're not going to be checking the player stats too often, maybe once or twice this whole video, just so we can get through things pretty quickly. Because again, it's been a while. I know you guys want to see some progress here. I do too, believe me. We're just going to see how this month plays out, I suppose. We'll make any changes if need be. But if not, then we're just going to try to get through this whole season here. We have a trade to Philadelphia, Dougie Hamilton, and a fourth, and to Vegas, Vinny Hinostroza. So we did start out this month pretty rough, to say the least. We got 4 losses in a row. Arizona, Chicago, Philly, and Dallas. We got a win against New Jersey and a win against Florida and against Columbus, but then 2 or 3 back-to-back-to-back losses against Edmonton, LA, and Washington is what did it for me. So we're stopping the sim there. We're going to see what's going on here. So, oh boy, we are last in our division currently with 19 points. We're not too far behind the wild cards. We're 6 points behind the wild card, but man, I'm going to guess that we're not scoring. That appears to be our issue here. So we're going to take a look at goals for per game. And yeah, we're scoring even less than before, 2.25. That's brutal. And goals against per game has gone up, 2.95. Not good. All right, power play, I should say, that's gotten worse, and the penalty kill gotten worse. Okay, time to make some line changes. Actually, we'll just check the player stats real quick just to see how scoring's going. Marner's scoring. Everyone else after him, not really. Dundas is still getting points. That's good. But once again, everybody besides Marner, Wright, and Dundas effectively are not being effective right now. So we're going to, either some line changes, possibly a trade, because this season, I mean, I don't want to say it's in jeopardy, but we definitely did not do ourselves any favors here so far in November. So let's make a line change or two, and then we'll do another month. And if we continue to struggle, then I think we may need to make a trade or two. Because this offense, as of right now, is nowhere to be found other than, once again, Wright, Marner, and Dundas. So it just occurred to me, we have actually been sitting Ondrej Kase for the past month or so, and he only had 1 assist in the 9 games that he played in the first month. So I think Kase may be someone who we want to trade now, especially considering, on our back end at least, besides Dundas, no one's really getting points. I mean, no one. on the back end. Not even Hayden Fleury. He only has 3 assists in 20 games, and I believe those first 3 assists came from the first 9 games. He is pointless in the past 11 games. So, yeah, we need to spark something about this offense, and I believe it starts from the defensive core. And that's understandable considering the amount of defensive defensemen we have in Goddard, Lambos, Wong. Montour's slowed down recently with the points. I mean, he was pretty slow with the points last year as well. If I remember correctly, yes, indeed, only 22 points compared to 46 the year before. So what do I want to do here? I think if I take away... Well, actually, Montour keeps that +3 there with Dundas. So I think we'll try Montour with Dundas, see if we can get Montour going again. And we'll see how Fleury simulates with someone like Goddard. But regardless, I think we need to trade Kasha right now. And I'm going to say it's probably going to be for an offensive defenseman, because we're really, once again, struggling with point scoring on the back end. So I think who's got to go, it's either going to be Montour or one of these 3. One of Goddard, Lambos, or Wong. As much as I don't want to trade any of these 3, because they're all really young. They're all 22 or younger. But the offense, it's just struggling so much. And obviously, we're not trading Dundas. He is probably our most important player as of right now. And Montour, I mean, he could definitely be doing better. We've seen Montour score a lot of points, though, before. So I'm willing to give him a second shot. But the thing that he doesn't have in his favor is his age. He's 31 years of age already. So he may be someone we consider trading. And Hayden Fleury, his age is also not on his side. He's 29 years of age. Has been pointless in the last 11 games. He's solid defensively, though, so I wouldn't mind holding on to Hayden Fleury. Yeah, 37 hits. Yeah, I think we're keeping Hayden Fleury. No doubt about it. But what about Montour? How is he defensively? He has 22 hits. So, again, Montour is someone you could consider trading, especially because of his age. But, man, all these defensive defensemen, the Goddard, Lambos, and Wong, pure defensive defensemen as well. It's not like they're offensively minded defensemen either. With Lambos, he only has an 80 offensive awareness, so it's not like he's going to be getting points. And I can't see that growing too much, to be honest. Although he does have a good ratio for a defenseman. What about Wong? I'd imagine his hit total's up there. Well, actually, not as much as I thought. And he does have quite a few giveaways, 25-5. Now, what about Goddard? He has 44 hits, and his giveaway takeaway ratio is actually really good. So, if anyone of these 3, I think it would have to be Wong, who we consider trading away. He was a second-round pick as well. It's not like he was one of our top first-round picks like Goddard or Lambos was. Wong was a second-round pick. He's got good potential, that much is certain, and he is definitely going to be a very good defenseman in the future. But as of right now, he's not simulating like a defenseman that I would want on my team. So we would have to at least consider trading Wong, I would say. And he doesn't even have a good scheme fit either. Yeah, we might have to consider trading Wong and possibly Montour as well, depending on who's available, right? Because if we package Montour, Wong, and Kasha into a package together, we could get some big-time defensemen back, who could seriously help with our offense or offensive production in general. So I'm going to take a look around the trade block here, and if I see anything noteworthy, I'll let you guys know. If not, then we just... I'm not going to say we're going to have to live with it, because clearly something's wrong here, right? We do need to make a trade regardless, I think, even if it's just trade Kasha. But I want to try to, first and foremost, find a really good defenseman to put with Peyton Dundas. So I believe I have found someone here, Matt Dumba, on the New York Rangers. He's an 87 overall, 12 points so far this year in 12 games. And what I really like about Dumba, he fits on all of our power play and all of our penalty kill lines. And as you guys know, or if maybe you forgot, but still, we have had some serious power play or penalty kill chemistry issues. So getting Dumba may help solve that a little bit. And not only is he good defensively, obviously, he's really good offensively with that 90 offensive awareness. He's a pretty good puck handler as well. Defensive awareness is up at 90. Yeah, I'm liking Matt Dumba. And he's on the trade block as well. He's 31 years of age. I believe he has 3 years left on his contract. His takeaway giveaway ratio is okay, and he hits a lot as well. So I would say if we're getting anyone here, it's probably going to be Matt Dumba. But we will do our due diligence here. We'll go through the rest of the teams, but I'm really liking Matt Dumba right now. So from the Philadelphia Flyers, there's quite a few defensemen available here. Ghost Despair and Lindholm stand out, but Lindholm and Ghost Despair are both lefties. I'm looking particularly for a right-handed defenseman, and Ghost, while he would be nice offensively, I'm kind of looking for a two-way guy to slot in there with Peyton Dundas. So I'm going to say no to Ghost Despair. I like Dumba a bit better, but Ghost, that being said, is not a bad option. Yeah, it was really between Dumba and Ghost Despair, and I just like Dumba a lot. It fits our situation perfectly because he fits into our penalty kill lines, which we are desperately looking to improve our power play and penalty kill. So we're going to try to trade for Dumba here. He does have a 3-year contract on him, as mentioned, $8 million effectively per season, but I don't believe that will be too big of a deal, especially with the players who we're sending back with the cap that they carry, especially Kasha and potentially Montour. I haven't actually figured out what this trade is going to be yet, but I do know that Kasha is going to be involved, and I do know that at least one defenseman has to go back the other way as well. Wong, I mean, we could get this deal done with probably with Wong alone. As a matter of fact, we might be able to get more back if we were just to trade Wong, because we would be getting, this is something we need, right? I hate giving up part of the future, but he's just not simulating well, and as of right now, we are a champion status team. We need to get that Stanley Cup, and we are not putting ourselves in a good position right now by keeping this many defensive defensemen around. So I think, honestly, we'll just try Wong for Dumba straight up. But actually, in addition, we'll get a first-round pick in there. Maybe this will go through, maybe not, but I at least want to try it with a first-round pick in there, especially considering we're getting a much older player back in return, and they're getting a very young player. So Wong for Dumba and a first proposed trade, rejected, too far off, I figured. So instead, the Rangers first. We'll try the Jets first. It's got slightly less value. Proposed trade. Nope. Okay, not sufficient at all, but we're getting a little closer. So maybe we'll add a little something to our side now. I think we'll have to add Kasha for sure. So Wong and Kasha for Dumba and a first. That actually might work. And as a matter of fact, we'll try putting the Rangers first back on there. So Wong and Kasha for Dumba and a first proposed trade. Trade accepted. There you go. So welcome to the Salt Lake City Lakers, Matt Dumba. That looks pretty nice. That looks pretty nice. We'll sort out all the lines in a little bit. Montour's going back down there to the third pair with Lambos. But you gotta admit, that looks much better as of right now. So obviously, that was a huge change. So as a result, I want to see how this affects everything. So we're going to take Montour off the power play here. We're going to get Dumba on. And we'll do the same thing for the four-man power play, which I actually already did. But before we make any other major moves, I want to see how getting Dumba affects our simulation. And obviously it should affect it in a positive way, given that it's a huge upgrade from what we had before. Presuming that we put ourselves in a good spot, I think we can go the rest of the season. If not, then more changes may be coming. But regardless, I really like that trade. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments, and we will continue the simulation. Brandon Montour out with an injured groin until December 3rd. That's about a week away, so that's unfortunate. We're going to have to take him out there, but luckily he's not on too many lines. He's only on the third line defensive pair, so we'll just get DeMello in there for right now. And good news so far, since getting Matt Dumba, we are 3-1 in our past 4 games. So not bad, but I would like to see some consistency there, so we'll go ahead, I would say at least another month. Well, we are once again not in a good position. We are currently 14, 16, and 3. Things did not go well. Yeah, we are 5, 6, and 2 since the trade. We're going to possibly need to make another trade here. We'll check out our team stats, but things are just not looking good right now. Goals for per game, we are doing better. We're above the Blues now. We are at a 2.39. That's much better than before. Goals against per game got slightly worse than when we last checked. It's now at a 3. It was previously at a 2.9, I believe. Power play has somehow gotten even worse. 10%. Wow. What do we need to do to fix the power play? Good news is that the penalty kill has gotten better. went from a 70%, I believe, to a 76%. So the penalty kill we don't have to touch, because as of recent, you have to think that's at least 80%. But the power play, I'm not sure what to do about the power play. I guess we could get right there with Plekanec, Marner. You know what? Just stack up the first line power play. We'll get instead of Nelson, we'll put Dumba up here, and then Dumba with Dundas, Marner at forward. So you have Plekanec, right, Marner, Dundas, and Dumba. And then you have Kapanen, Waugh, Burakovsky, Fleury, and do I want Nelson there? Yeah, I want. Well, actually, has he done point scoring wise? He's not bad. What about Burakovsky, man? Burakovsky is very shaky when it comes to point scoring as of the past 2 years. I think I'm going to get Nelson there. And we'll take Burakovsky off. We'll get Montour back on. I just want to see how he responds to being put back on the power play. So yeah, that looks good for right now. I mean, once again, we got to find a working combination for the power play, because as of right now, it's just completely dead. We'll get Marner with right there, and for the first line D pair, we'll get Dundas and Dumba, and then I'll put Nelson with Waugh, and then Fleury will be with Montour. 4-on-4, we'll go right, Marner, Dundas, and Dumba, loading up that first line, and then the second line will be Waugh, Nelson, Lambos, and Fleury, and on the third line will be Montour with, who was it, Goddard? I think so. And then with LaRose will be, I guess, Faxa. Yep, that'll have to do. And then Bowman, he's actually playing pretty well right now. 916 save percentage. Shesterkin a 905. Huh. So I guess we'll let the coach be in charge of the goaltenders for right now. But we're going to keep an eye specifically on Shesterkin, because he started out, I believe, with a 917. And he's down to a 905 right now, which means as of late, he is below 900. So we have to keep an eye on him. We'll also keep an eye on Bowman, of course, but he's doing well so far. So just let him keep doing his thing. And we'll go, I suppose, the rest of the month, because we're on the 24th as of right now. But man, we are so far behind that wild card now. We are 10, count them, 10 points behind the Avalanche. We do have a game in hand on the Avalanche, but it's still not a good spot. So we are going to go the rest of the month. We need to go at least 3-1 here in this stretch. If we lose 3 or even lose all 4, I don't like our chances. All right, so good news. We won all 4. So let's just keep it up. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's go one more month and we'll see what happens. Well, 4-game winning streak negated just like that. We followed up a 4-game winning streak at the end of last month with a 4-game losing streak at the start of January, then followed up by a win against Chicago and a loss against Philly. We are 1-5 this month. We're not. I don't see us getting back into it. It's going to be a hard climb. It's going to be a hard climb. And we are now 11 points away from the wild card in the Nashville Predators. So we're scoring more goals. We're letting in less goals than before. We're at 2.86 right now. Our goals for per game is at 2.63. That power play, man. Why? We're down to single digits. Every time we've checked, our power play has gotten worse. Oh, man. What do we do about the power play? I don't understand. The penalty kill has gotten better, too. But just the power play, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think shooting is the problem, because we have plenty of guys who are taking shots here. We have 3 with over 100. We have 4 more with at least 90. We have another 2 with at least 70, close to 70, 80, I should say. So, what about shooting percentage? Oh, we're here. I mean, yeah, we got, I think, what is that, 7? Yeah, we got 7 guys with a shooting percentage over 10, so that's not bad. Now, what about face-offs? Because as I remember, this was an issue as of last checked. Faxa is our leading face-off man with a 50.3. Then Tierney with a 47.8. Wright with a 47.4. Waugh with a 42.7. Okay, so I think part of the problem here is possession time, because we're not winning enough draws, as seen by Joshua Waugh's 42%. So I think what we're going to do, I potentially want to try Plekanec in the middle. Actually, Plekanec has a better face-off rating than Wah does. Plekanec says a 79. Yeah, we'll try Plekanec in the middle for right now. Just see what he does there. I mean, it can't hurt at this point, especially considering Wah is 42%. That is just unfortunate. Faxa, we're going to leave in the middle. He's been our best face-off guy, even though he's only at 50%. Right, he could be better at the face-offs for sure. He's got a 77 face-off rating. There's really not many other guys who I would want to use as a center. Maybe LaRose? He's got a 79 for face-offs as well. It seems like all those rookies, all the generated rookies have a 79 face-off rating, especially if they're wingers, which really doesn't make sense. But still, I think LaRose might be someone we try out at center, but I don't know what line I'd put him on. Maybe the second line, and then we'll move Plekanec to the first line. Yeah, that might be what we try out here. So we go right, Plekanec and Marner, and then Wah, LaRose, and Kapanen. And then that would mean Burakovsky drops down to the third line with Faxa and Nelson, and then Naslund, Tierney, and Gunler. We'll try it. I mean, it can't hurt at this point. Special teams will get Wah off the face-off. We'll put Plekanec in the middle. I'll put Wah with Wright and Marner. And then Kapanen with Nelson. Yeah, I think that's going to have to be it. The problem is there's not really many other guys who I want to put on the power play, you know? A lot of our bottom six guys are specifically defensive players, especially guys like Faxa, Tierney, Gunler, and Naslund. I don't really feel comfortable putting them on the power play just yet. Yeah, that's going to have to do. We're going to have to try that. And if that doesn't work, then, well, I mean, the season's probably lost at that point because we put ourselves in a bad hole early. We really did. Yeah, 19, 21, and 3. If we don't go on, I would say at least like a 7-game winning streak between now and how many games are left in the month? There's 6. If we don't win at least 5 of these, then we're done. There's no way we're coming back from something like this. We're already 21 losses and we're not even in February yet. I don't trust it. Well, you hate to see it. Radek Plekanec out with an injured foot until January 24th. That is, I believe, a week and a half away, so we're going to have to get someone else on the first line center. I think for right now, that's going to have to be Nelson. I don't want to put LaRose there just yet. And we'll move Gunler up to the third line, and who will be the fourth line winger. I think that's going to be Gunther. So in the chaos that is this season, our rookie goaltender, Rohan Bowman, in 19 games so far, has a .926 save percentage. That's pretty impressive, especially for a team that's not winning too often right now. So I give a lot of credit to Rohan Bowman for how he's playing right now. He's been impressive. And Plekanec missed a few games, but he is back, so we'll take Gunther out, and we will get Plekanec back in there, of course. So get you in there, and back to the fourth line goes Gunler, and back to the first line center goes Plekanec. Okay, so of these last 6 games, we won 4 of them, and we got a point out of a shootout loss against Columbus. So it's not over yet, I wouldn't say, but we still have a steep mountain to climb. We are still 11 points back of the Jets. Oh, this is going to be rough. Rough ending to the season for sure. I don't know. I'm not hopeful. So I don't think we're going to make any more trades for veterans as of right now. If anything, we're going to be making trades for draft picks because this season's just not going our way right now. It's just not. Okay, EA. Your scouts are atrocious. We're in February now, and this is all they have done. I don't mean to complain about the scouting too much, but when you see this, and you're over halfway through the season, and especially in a losing season, come on. I mean, you have, 10 guys at most completely scouted in the top 70? That's just brutal. We have a trade to Dallas, Armia in a 5th, and to Montreal, Stevenson and a 3rd. Another trade to Boston, Provorov goes to Boston, and to Toronto, 2 firsts with Ricci and Kemper. Oof. Igor Shesterkin goes down with a sprained ankle until March 8th. But you know what that means? We have, if you recall, we have a goalie in the minors, Ilya Kistov, who we drafted, I believe it was a couple of years ago, 2024 first round, 18th overall. He has an 80 overall, and he is ready to be a backup in the NHL. Been waiting his chance, and this is his chance. So, should he prove himself here? Maybe we could consider trading Shesterkin in the offseason, but we'll see what happens here. So, Bowman, you are the starter for right now, and Kistov get in the backup position there. Trade alert to Anaheim, Logan Brown, and to Ottawa, Pete and Clymer. To Boston, Barbashev and a 5th, and to St. Louis, Whitney, a 5th and a 6th. And to Minnesota goes Ghost Despair, and to Philadelphia will be Mackenzie Blackwood and a 1st. Oh boy, trades galore here. To Detroit, Gaudette, and to Vancouver, Locke, Fuller, and a 5th. So all of a sudden, after my rant about the scouting system, we are all of a sudden now in a playoff spot. Granted, we're just barely. In this past month, we have gone, in this week, 3-1. This week, 1-0-1. And then the next week after that, we went 3-1. The week after that, we went 3-0. So we've put ourselves in a pretty good position before the trade deadline. I'm not sure what I want to do here because this season has been completely up and down so far. I honestly think we don't mess with what's been working because it's been really working the past few weeks here. So as we take a look at the team stats, we're still not great for scoring, but we've at least been stable, 2.69. And the thing that's key here, goals against per game has gone down to a 2.53. We're once again first in our division for that. Power play has been much better, unfortunately, 10.6, but it's gotten slightly better, so I'll take it. At least it hasn't gotten even worse this time. Penalty kill, slightly better than when we last checked. I believe before it was at 78, now it's at a 79, almost at an 80, so can't complain. We've been getting better at everything so far, including the wins category, as you see, 33, 24, and 5. So the philosophy that I'm going to stick to here is don't mess with what's working because it's really been working the past few weeks, as I said. So we'll just go the rest of the season, no matter what happens, regardless of whether we make the playoffs or not. I'm not going to regret making or not making any moves at the trade deadline because I think if we do make a move and we all of a sudden start to play not so great again, then I'm going to regret it. So it's completely up to the players at this point because they've proven that they can get it done, as they are right now. So it's up to them to continue playing well. So it's not on me if we miss the playoffs here, because we've put ourselves into a very good position by having guys like Matt Dumba on our roster, as well as finally picking up the scoring a little bit, but what's mostly been getting it done, I would say, has been our defense and our goaltending. So I want to believe that Matt Dumba has a huge role to play in that, as well as, of course, our rookie goaltender. He's been playing phenomenal. So let's just go through the rest of the season and hopefully we can say that we're in the playoffs. So Shesterkin is back here, but I don't think I want to get him back in right now because Ilya Kistov, in the 2 games that he's played so far, .953 save percentage. So I guess we'll just let the rookies ride it out here because both of them been doing phenomenal so far. And again, small sample size for Kistov, right? But still, 953 isn't something I'm going to ignore. So for right now, we're just going to leave these guys be. They're clearly on a roll. So Shesterkin, you're going to have to take a back seat for right now because he's playing better as of recent. Shesterkin has, but these two, Kistov and Bowman, they're just on another level. So we have to leave them in there. You got to be joking. Rohan Bowman injured with post-concussion syndrome until April 24th. That is, I believe, right after the first round ends. 2 goaltender injuries so far this year. It doesn't happen often. So I guess this is the opportunity that Shesterkin needs to get back in there. So welcome back to the lineup. If only because for an injury, but still, he's back in. So we'll see what Shesterkin can do. And hopefully Kistov can continue being a very solid backup for that matter. So we'll just go ahead with the rest of the simulation here. Okay, so 5 games left in the season. We are 2 points behind the wild card with the same amount of games played as the Jets as well. So we actually have more wins than them. They just have more points. So it's anyone's game as of right now. It's anyone's playoff position. But the Predators look like they've already pretty much pulled away from us. Even if we get all the remaining 5 games, that only takes us to, 97 points. So we would need the Predators to only win no more than 1 more game. And I don't think that's likely. So we really, really have to push for that second wild card. Is there anyone in the Pacific who we might be competing with? Yeah, the Canucks and the Flames, I would say at the very least, if not the Ducks too, to an extent. So we're going to have to make sure to win as many as we can. And actually, how many are against Pacific Division teams or Central Division teams here? We have 3 of our next 5 games are against Western Conference teams. So we have to, absolutely have to, win those games against Edmonton and LA and Winnipeg. Edmonton and Winnipeg especially, because they're 2 teams we're competing with. I mean, LA is way far behind at this point, but we at the very least, if we don't win any other games, we absolutely need to win the games against Edmonton and Winnipeg. But preferably, of course, win all 5. It's not happening. We've already lost 2. Yep, there goes our chances. We lost 3 in a row now. There's 4, there's 5. 1 point out of a possible 10. That's brutal. All right, well, yeah, we missed. That's unfortunate. Well, we gave it our best shot. Nobody could say that we didn't try, right? We acquired a very good defenseman in Matt Dumba to help us try to make a push. We eventually did get better. We got on the right track, but that hole that we put ourselves in early on in the season just was just too much. We couldn't crawl back out of it. I mean, we did for a short while, but it was just, we went on too many of those kinds of losing streaks, especially like we saw just now at the end of the season. Way too many of those. So I think we're in a pretty good position going into next season, but clearly still some work to do. So let's check out how we ended off with the team stats. Goals for per game, we are sitting at a 2.6. Not terrible. Could be better though. Could be much better. Goals against per game is, as of right now, pretty good. 2.73. Once again, I would like that to be a little bit lower, but considering how high up the rest of our division is for goals against per game, I suppose that's actually pretty good. But power play, okay, so I mean, as long as the power play is getting better, I can't complain, but it's obviously something we need to focus on going into the offseason, is a power play specialist, preferably. Penalty kill got better as the season went on, then it started to stabilize a little bit at 78%, so I can't complain too much about the penalty kill, but still, wish it did a little bit better towards the start. Like, pretty much everything else could have gone better towards the start of the season. Obviously, we didn't start terribly in those 9 games in October, but it was after that we really started to just completely derail, basically. We'll check out the final season stats here. Marner led our team with 56 points. Juan Kapanen with 52. Wright with 50. Mechanics with 44. Dundas with 42. Dumbo with 41. How many of those are from our team? That would be 29. All right, so pretty good. 29 points in 62 games. That's roughly a 39 to 40 point pace. I'll take it. Burakovsky with 37. Faxa with 37. LaRose with 36 in his rookie season. Not bad. Nelson with 34. Fleury with 22. Tierney with 19. Goddard with 15. Gunler with 15. Naslin with 13. Montour with 13. Montour's fallen off in a big way. I think he might be trade bait going into this offseason. Lambos with 8. Gunther with 3 in 11 games. DeMello played 2 games. And a goal, let's see this. So Shesterkin with a .904 save percentage. I would say he's trade bait, to be honest. Especially considering what Bowman did in the 32 games that he played. Obviously, he got injured towards the end there, but still, he was very impressive, and he proved that he can indeed be the starting goaltender for this team. Especially since he's only 23 years of age. Now's the time for him to make that jump to be the starter. I think Shesterkin's on his way out this offseason for sure. Keystov, he played well enough to be the back to prove that he is good enough to be our backup going into next season. So next season we go with Bowman and Keystov. I would not be opposed to that. As a matter of fact, I would prefer that. So that is just about all she wrote for this season. And the next one we will do the offseason going into year number 8. And I don't really know when that's going to be, unfortunately. But just know that I will record whenever I can, and it'll be uploaded to YouTube as soon as possible. So that's the schedule I'm following as of right now. It's a no schedule. It's just going to be whenever I can. So I'm very busy as of late, as I'm sure you probably guessed, or if you've seen my community post from, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But regardless, that'll be it for this one. And in the next one, once again, we will go through the year 8, or the offseason going into year 8. And I'll see you guys in the next one.